Hey guys, thanks for clicking on my face and checking out my channel. I'm John Stark from ActiveMovieGuy.com, and this is my review of The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. This is this is available on Apple Plus. If you have Apple Plus, and it is one of the currently shortlisted animated shorts for the Academy Awards. It made the shortlist for Best Animated Short. So this is Apple's ploy to get into a territory that sometimes gets won by Disney. Frequently, actually, a lot of these have been won by Disney. Also used to be won by Tom and Jerry cartoons, but anyway, they've got some, I think, back in the day too. Yeah, so this is this is a neat story. It's tonally just perfect for kids. I don't know how it's you know, as a blind film critic, I can't see the animation quality in the I have no idea what the animation is in this, to be totally honest. That's what I'm trying to say. I have no idea if it's stop motion. I have no idea if it's like watercolor, if it's CGI, if it's hand drawn. No idea. I don't know. I have no idea what the animation quality is in this. So I'm thinking about the story, and I will say that that Apple sprung for a celebrity voice cast, which will help, I think, bring in voters. I think when they see an animated short that has Tom Hollander, Idris Elba, and Gabriel Byrne voicing the three animals, that perhaps they'll become a little bit more interested in it. It's also currently available, which is just the accessibility alone can be a game changer for shorts, because a lot of times shorts are just not available for people to be able to see without attending screenings or getting screener copies. So anyone with an Apple Plus subscription who's also a voting member in the branch right now has access to this short. So that can be game changing too, the fact that Apple is backing it. But this is just, it's nice. Like, I'd like to sit down and watch this with like a kid. And if I need a kid, I need to have a kid right now so I can sit down and watch with them, because it feels like reading a book. It just feels like a little short little book that we're reading about like a little morality tale about things that come together and how things work out in the end, and just a story being told. If you told me this was based on a book, I would not be shocked at all. If there's a children's book wandering around out there, it doesn't surprise me. It feels like the animated adaptation of a children's book, like a real children's book, the ones that are like huge with the large pages and are not very long. And instead of trying to like do what they did with like Cat in the Hat, where they make this crazy long, ridiculous adaptation, they just kind of do this, and it's an animated short, and it works. They don't try to make it longer. They don't add more to it. They don't make it like a huge adventure. They just adapt it, and it ends up being nice. I think there are better animated shorts, but I thought this was sweet. It's harmless. It feels very, it feels hard to champion in some ways because it's very pleasant. It's very unoffensive. It's very just sort of, it feels like the quiet kid at the back of the room that you secretly don't know is like, has like a 4.0 GPA. It's like excelling in class, but like nobody knows who he is because he never speaks. It feels like that. Like you have to kind of discover this thing on your own and really crack it open and really get in there. You know, like you have to talk to that kid and be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he just doesn't want to talk to you. And you have to like make the effort. This feels like a film where you kind of have to get in there and see it to be able to appreciate the work. And it's such a quiet film that I don't know if Apple can win with this. A couple years ago, Netflix had a documentary in the animated short that just not documentary, just an animated short called If Anything Happens, I Love You, that was just, I mean, like a gut punch, and ended up winning the Oscar that year. And I mean, there was no other way anything else but that could win. Once you see it, you can't, like, it's unstoppable. You can't forget it. This is something where it kind of feels like it's just a little thing that's made for kids, and you can just go about your day afterwards. So I don't know. I don't know how this will play. I don't know if it'll make the final five. Apple doesn't have much to campaign this year, so they could spend a ton of money just trying to get an animated short in the nominees. To be totally honest, but it starts out with a boy who just meets a mole, and the mole talks, and they go through some stuff, and then there's a fox, and of course foxes are dangerous, but then they go through some stuff, and then the adventure moves on, and eventually they get to a horse. And they kind of, it forms this unlikely quartet, as these three animals try to help this boy find his home, because he's wandering around in the snow. I thought about that too. Like, I was like, what is this film about, and where are his parents? Because he, like, legitimately spent, like, time outside. Like, this dude is lost. So I was concerned, but then at the end you realize what the film is about. You're like, oh, it's these animals are taking him home. I get it. So, but for a while there, you're like, oh my god, does this boy have a home? Or is this like a Winnie the Pooh thing where he's like, he's in 100-acre wood, and that's why the animals are talking? Like, I don't know, but I didn't know anything about it. I just knew it was shortlisted, and that's why I watched it. So it was interesting for me, from my point of view, uncovering it as the film progressed, because I started being, like, really, you know, aware of this kid's safety out in the cold, and I was like, what is this film about? Is somebody going to address the fact that he's just out there? Anyway, so yeah, they eventually help him find his home, and everything is harmonious and nice, just like they are in kids' books. So it was delightful, and it has nice little audio description to it too, just accompanying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sort of like if, you know, think about it as the film is dad's reading you the book, right? And then mom sits down, and she's, like, filling in some stuff, and she's describing the pictures to you. That's kind of what this feels like to me. It's a children's story that we're being told, and for people who don't need audio description, they're just getting the children's story that's told. But we're getting the other parent that's in the room and is going, oh, do you see how the boy has a blue jacket on, and he's got blonde hair, and I don't remember if he actually has blonde hair. I'm using that as an example, but that's kind of what it feels like, is when the other parent is interjecting and describing the images of the book to the kid in bed. So it was a pleasant experience. I don't know if this is a champion animation short, but I wouldn't be mad if it was top 5. I think it would be weird if it won. I'd be honest. If this is the best animated short out of the shortlisted shorts, yeah, that would be my only thought. But I've almost talked probably the length of the animated short. It's actually not that short. I thought it was like 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. So it's not a complete waste of your time. So get in there and watch it. It's on Apple. I'm gonna give. I really have nothing wrong with it. It's the kind of film that is hard to stand up and be like, yay! That's really all I can say. It's hard to, like, run around a room afterwards and be like, that was an amazing experience. It was very pleasant. It was very pleasant. And I wish it all the best in the world. And I think people will have a very nice time. And I think people don't make pleasant films like this anymore. Films that just, everything just kind of works out, and it's just a nice time, you know, with a nice morality tale to it. So I think little kids will love this. But I'm going to give The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse an A minus. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with this, except it just doesn't feel like the kind of movie that you're gonna like run out and be like, "Oh my god, did you see this? This movie's amazing." Feels like a quiet thing that you just kind of you forget to like put on Facebook later that you saw it. You know, like you're like, "Oh, that was good." How'd you feel about it? It was good. It was great. Why didn't you tell anybody about it? I don't know. Like that kind of thing. Anyway, um, please subscribe to my channel so I can continue talking about films to you from a blind perspective, and also about audio description. I'm a little bit short of my goal this year. I'm not going to hit it. There's no way. I mean, I could wish upon a star on my final 8 subscribers, but I haven't budged from 92 in a while. I got to 92, and apparently I'm never going to gain subscribers. So, you know, my year-end goal I thought was achievable of 100. Apparently it's not. So, but any closer I can get would be great. I have a website, macthemovieguy.com. You can follow me on Twitter at macthemovieguy. You can go to the audio description project, avp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description, where you can watch it. And you can go to theadna.org and look up your favorite films and TV shows and see who is working on the audio description for them. That's it from me today. I will review something else for you guys and see you on the other side.